Hey guys, it's time for Breakthrough with Coach Lou. Coming to you live from Accelerate Life University, XLR8Life.com. Coach Lou will help you break through anything that's stopping you. Are you ready to get the motivation, the energy, the life, and all the success you really want and deserve? With no further ado, here's Coach Lou.
All right, guys, it is Monday morning, and welcome back to Breakthrough with Coach Lou. You are live with me here, coming to you every Monday at 8 a.m. July 3rd. The next show that we have may be a little bit earlier. I may have a schedule conflict, but I will let you know. So watch our Facebook group, watch the site, and I will keep you posted as if we might start that show at 7:30. So today we're going to really hit it hard. We're going to hit into some serious truth about how to get you your green light so you can finally go forward. Okay? You with me on this? Too many times, have you ever just hit that point in something where you put all the preparation in, you get ready, you get excited, you've got all this. Then you step up to the starting line and literally turn around and walk away. Have you ever done that? Have you ever prepared for something, been excited about something, been right on the edge of doing it and then threw in the towel because, it's not the right time, or I'm not prepared, or I really didn't prepare for this? I've had some of the best OCR races in my life coming off of an injury. 2 times last year. Okay, and it was great to be back into racing. I managed to slice a finger or a thumb really bad with one of my sharp cooking knives. Within a week of a race, I'm talking probably should have stitched it, glued it, this, that, and the other. Stitches wouldn't work well on the course. And I could have said, I can't do the race now, I'm hurt. And I still did it. Okay, but the thing was I lost a week of working out. I lost a week of training. I could have had every excuse in the book not to step up to that starting line and start. Now, did it hurt during? Did I pop it open? Was it, not exactly optimal? Did I fail out on a couple obstacles because I had this thing that should have been stitched on my finger? Sure. I mean, there's no doubt about it. It affects it. Not being prepared, setting unrealistic deadlines is always a good thing because at least you push harder. Did you ever notice going to school or in work projects or anything like that sometimes you have a long time to do something? Professor says, you got 6 months to do this essay. When do you actually work on it? The frickin' night before. Okay, maybe a couple days before. Or maybe you're like, Alex from Modern Family, and you started before the professor even told you because you found out from somebody else what the project would be. But most of us are not the Alexes of the world, okay? And if you don't watch Modern Family, she's the super smart kid that's always ahead of the game. But seriously, what if your boss came along? Have you ever had your boss come along and say, we screwed up, I was supposed to give this to you 2 months ago, we got 2 days to pull off this proposal or we're going to lose the biggest account we have. And you pulled it off. You didn't go, we can't do this. I guess the company's going to close. You with me? Okay. So welcome back to Breakthrough with Lou. I want to sincerely welcome you back, especially to this 5-part series we're doing, because this is your launch pad, okay? So you ready to hit that accelerator and go? Or you want to turn around at the starting line and put your tail between your legs and wimp out? This show is not about wimping out or taking the easy road. Now, I realize there are times you're going to have to make certain decisions and you might feel like, ooh. But, there have been times too, and I hate to bring this up because it's a tragedy, but with that submarine accident that happened, okay? And I did find it kind of nasty that people were making big jokes about it. Those were human lives. All right, I'm going to address that. That's a human being. That could have been your brother, sister, father, anybody. Okay? Could have been you. But the guy that didn't go, and it's an extenuating circumstance, might be one of those people who goes, see, that sometimes it's okay to turn around at the finish line. I'm not saying be reckless. What I'm saying is take a shot, okay? If you're standing on the side of a mountain and people are jumping off and going, wow, this is fun, splat at the bottom and dying, I would say it's time to turn around, okay? That's not smart. That's not even realistically, there's no feasibility to win. Now, if you stand on the same side of that mountain and people are jumping off the side with bungee cords and coming back up and saying it was the time of their life, and you're like, well, a bungee cord could break, that's not really a reason to turn around. Because really 99.9999999% of them don't break. But if you're jumping off without a bungee cord, and you're watching people die, and you do it too, that's stupid, okay? That would be stupid. Oh, I'm not going to die. I'm going to bounce. Oh, you're going to die. See, that's the difference. I'm not talking about go out and be reckless and stupid and do things that are just really aren't going to end well. But I am saying get out there and push that envelope. The things that scare you, because they scare you here and here, not because they're really going to end in grave death, get out there and do them. Okay. So, the question I have for you, are you ready to hit your accelerator and go? And you're like, you already asked that. The reason I say this, did you just say yes? Or did you say yes and mean it? Or did you just say yes and think, well, maybe I'm not ready? Were you excited till you got to the point where you actually are going to do it and then you shut down your excitement? How often has that happened? Something so exciting, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do it. Oh, no, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. No, never mind. How many times have we done that? Okay. Good news is you're not alone. The bad news is, unless you master this step of your life, this step of this series we're doing, you'll be full of good ideas, all right? You may even be ready to get past what used to hold you back, like we did last week, but the fear of action and change might stall you at the starting line. Nothing worse than putting in all the effort and then giving it up when you're about to get the damn glory. And you're like, no, coach, the glory's at the finish line. The finish line never happens if you don't start the starting line. Let me repeat that. You will never cross the finish line if you don't cross the starting line. Okay, so today's about the starting line. All right, so to prevent the stall, we're going to discover how to give you that green light by putting your accelerator to the floor when it's time. Not taking little itty bitty actions, not kind of touching your toe in the water. If you're going to go do the Polar Bear Club in Lake Michigan, and they know they do it all over the place now, but I think it started up there, where you jump in the freezing water in January, you don't stick your toe in, feel it a little bit with your hand, kind of get in a little bit at a time. You're never going to do it. You just jump in. Went to the beach yesterday, and the water was a little chilly, which is okay because it's 100 degrees outside. And it's like, all right, I want to go in and swim, but you see the kids do it. They dainty in, and the wave comes and they run back, and it's cold. It's going right in, and as soon as I can, I'm face first into that water. And once you make that first splash, you're in. It's not that cold anymore. It's not that bad anymore. Now you're moving. Now you can swim. Okay? See, the real truth of it is we do know what we should do. And we all should all over ourselves and never launch. Okay? Yeah, I said it. You should all over yourself. I should, I coulda, woulda. That's what it all turns out to. Shoulda turns into coulda, turns into woulda. Well, didn't happen. Get in, jump in, go. G-O. Simple. 2 letters. Remember it. Now, obviously, a little bit of cold this last week, and we'll talk about that at the end. But why you ask, is this, what is the real reason that people should all over themselves? Fear. Like we talked about last week. Fear is still the number one killer to success. Thought we passed that last week. Well, we did. We got past the fear of our pasts and of getting started, but we didn't conquer that fear yet of getting going when it comes to action. Okay, first it was fear of admitting where you really are. Ooh, remember that in week 1? I got to admit where I'm really at. I got 10 grand in the bank. I'm doing okay. You got 20,000 in credit card debt. You're 10,000 underwater. Now, how do you feel? Well, not so okay. Yeah, no shit. See, that's the truth, though. Once you get past the fear of telling yourself the truth, it feels good to go, I got 10 grand in the bank. I could, survive a month if if business was bad or if someone was sick. No, you're negative 10. Now, if you got 10 grand in the bank and no credit card debt, and you got good high credit card balances that if you were in a jam, you could, pay some medical bills. And that's a whole different animal. Okay, so then it was the fear of the truth of what's stopping you. It's my dad. He wasn't encouraging when I was a kid. It's my mom. She didn't love me the way other moms. Okay, cut it out. Okay, everybody's got their level of trauma from childhood. It's part of growing up. I was bullied in 7th grade. Somebody said they didn't like my hair. Oh my God. I was bullied in 7th grade. Got my ass kicked routinely for 3/4 of the year daily till I stood up. See, these are the things you can't go, oh, well, it's because I'm held back because of 7th grade or because, my father left when we were 3 and, mom had to do it on her own and, men are suck. And no, you could come up with every excuse in the book. I'm not saying that these traumas aren't real. I'm not saying that kids should have to go through some of the things they should. I'm not condoning bullying, but somebody telling you they don't like your hair on Instagram isn't bullying. Wake up. Okay? Now, somebody being truly terrorized and picked on, especially if they're, have a special needs or something, is unacceptable. But a little bit of henpecking in that in school is the way you learn to take order and the way you learn to step up for yourself. So these are the things you got to look at and go, was it that or was it really severe? And you look and go, look at some of these people that were born to drug-addicted parents, left in a garbage can. Somebody was lucky enough to find them, resuscitate them back to life, had no parents, been through the system, been physically abused, this, that, and the other, and they turn out to be absolute, strong, great adults and heroes. And you're going, my mom didn't show me enough love. Okay, don't give me that. Get over it. Grow past it and realize, my God, if so-and-so can make it and they were attacked and they were this and they were abused and born on a basement floor and oh my God, and they had physical impairments because of the parents' drug addictions, and look where they are. They have a TV show or they have this great business or this great charity or they become this great community leader, then what? See, that was the thing. We had the fear of admitting what's stopping us is truly us. Okay? And you might say, well, I want to run a marathon, but I'm in a wheelchair. So how am I stopping that? They do have wheelchair races. Just saying. I'm not being cold to that. Yes, that would be, you might not be able to do a foot race through the mountains if you're in a wheelchair. Okay, that could be something where you could say that stops you from doing that, but it doesn't stop you from having a great life in other areas. But that was my whole point, was that fear of telling yourself the truth of what's really stopping you, and it always comes right back to you. Okay, at this point in life, if you're on this show and you're living in the free world here, and keep it free, folks, and you're able to watch this show and you're able to make your own decisions and able to physically participate in things, and you're the only thing stopping you. Well, my spouse doesn't approve. Your spouse doesn't stop you from taking a class or running a race or something. Now, if you're doing something, horrible and, unethical in your marriage, and your spouse is giving you an ultimatum of, get rid of your side hustle or whatever because, he or she's got to go, that's a different story. Okay? Then you're still stopping you because you got a decision to make. But my whole point to that is I went a little sideways on that, but you're the only real stopping block to you. And when we broke through the fear of that last week. That's my whole point, to where you understand that it's you that makes the decision to go forward or not. Now, we have another fear to conquer today. This is the fear of success and possible failure. You heard me, the fear of success. And you're going, oh, hell no. Success, I don't fear that. I'm going to be happy. But, I'm going to have to really get creative because the IRS will take most of it. Okay, there's a fear. Or, well, what's going to happen to it when I die? I don't want my kids to get taxed to death. So let's just fail instead of being successful by the time you die. Or, my friends aren't going to like me anymore. Oh, that's a big fear. Or my family doesn't support me. Okay. See, here's the deal. When you fail, people will commensurate with you. You get the old, oh, I get you. Me too. Oh, I know, honey, come here. You tried. And people seem to care for you more when you're down and out. Bullshit. They're out there out of obligation when you're down and out. You've all heard the story probably of the guy who kept getting in accidents. And, and his family would come to the hospital and he's like, and his coach said to him, why do you think you keep having accidents? Why, I guess I'm just careless or unlucky. And, but the good thing is my family's all here all the man wanted was connection to his family. Didn't know how to get it, but when he got hurt, oh my God, the family came running. Oh, they weren't coming in going, oh, we want to come spend time with Daddy and Uncle Sam and no, they were going, son of a bitch, here we go again. He's in the hospital again. All right, well, we got to go. We're obligated. Obligation's not love. But that's a radical example, but a true example. When you call somebody up and says, oh my God, I had the greatest day. I had the greatest idea. I had the greatest show this morning. Oh, it's good for you. Good for you. Easy for you. Must be nice, coach. If I say, oh my God, this morning I went to, plug in, the internet was down. I was like, all right, backup plan, just, quick broadcast off the iPhone. Oh, it wasn't charged. Oh, the power went out. Oh my God, the cell towers went down. Oh my God, I know, technology sucks. It ruins everything. But you see the pattern there? Okay, it didn't all happen this morning, but there was a quick example of, oh, yeah, or, me too. Oh my God, I'm having a rough week. Me too. Me too. I'm having an amazing week. Must be nice, son of a bitch. You know what I mean? You're going to get that, folks. Okay? So when you succeed, sometimes you're going to think you're feeling shunned. People might do the easy for you. Must be nice. So on, so on. Okay, but this could make you feel disconnected. So then you go, well, let me tone it down. You end up sabotaging your success because you don't want to lose your love, your friends, the sympathy, the connection. And if your friends and loved ones don't support you in that success, if they really don't, they're always telling you tone it down, turn it down, or the only time they're there is when you're in misery. Find another peer group. Okay, doesn't mean you never talk to your friends or family. Doesn't mean you don't care for them, but find a peer group that goes, when you go, man, I'm on to something. Cool, what is it? Let's go. Can I help you? Not, oh, here we go again, dreamer. What are you going to do? Here we go again, dreamer. Oh, that's right. I failed last time. I know. F it. I'm not. Yeah, I know. Instead of somebody going, come on, what is it? Let's go. Well, hey, you're going to need to tighten this up. Let's go. What's your plan? That's the peer group you want. Okay? Or instead of necessarily finding another one, why don't you lead by example? Maybe your peer group needs a leader. Maybe they need somebody to inspire them. And just maybe that's you. If they go, you should tone it down. Well, why don't you join me in some of this celebration? Why don't you tune in to my show on Monday morning? That's the thing I love. Oh, it's great what you're doing with that show. Really? When was the last time you were on? Not you particularly. You're watching me today, but some people that are close to me. Oh, yeah, good. Yeah, I'm glad you got that show thing going on. You can tell they're like knocking it. Okay. When was the last time you were on? Maybe you need, if you got that attitude, maybe you need to get on the show. Okay. Lead your folks to a higher standard. Lead the people that you care about to a higher standard. You would want better for them, would you not? Right? Okay, so my point here is that we fear things that might not be true at all, period. False evidence that appears real, or they may be true and you end up learning from them. Okay. Sometimes you do something and you go, crap, I won't do that one again. That hurt, or that one really put me in the wrong direction. That one set me back. What can I learn here? Well, I learned never to do it that way. So what would be the way? Ask the better questions. Or then there's the things that were never true in the first place. These are my favorites. Oh my God, the boss needs to see me in the office. I must be getting fired. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. All day long, you're scared. You get in there and it's like, so, do you know what I needed to talk to you about? No. Did I do something wrong? Oh, wow, that's really going to get you in the power position. Instead of, no, not sure what's going on. Did you need my input on something, boss? Even if you did screw something up, the boss might go, well, yeah, we have this little challenge and it involved you, but what can we do different next time rather than you screwed up? You see, you'd even diffuse that, but maybe it wasn't true in the first place. My God, I saw that article you wrote and it was like, oh my God, we need to implement this. Can I put you in charge of this special little task force here to implement this? I know it's going to take some extra time, so there's going to be some bonus pay this week, and also a dinner for you and your family. I'm going to throw in a certificate to your favorite restaurant. You're going, oh my God, I was scared I was getting fired, and now I'm getting fed and a bonus, and to work on my project, and I'm being recognized. So what was never true in the first place is getting fired. What was true is that you're being recognized for something great. But you got to do something great to get recognized for something great. See, this all works in together. It's all parts of a puzzle, guys. It's all parts of a puzzle. And we don't always know where all the pieces are. Sometimes we got to create pieces. Sometimes we got to take a little glue and put it in between and then color it in to match because there's missing pieces. Not everything just fits together. Okay? Without dissecting fears for hours and hours, let us just recognize that the number one reason you may not take action at the green light time is fear. Okay? Once you recognize it, that's part of the curativeness of it. Okay? Awareness oftentimes is curative. What a concept. Okay, so now you're going, all right, I get it. We're beating this to death. Fear is the number one thing that'll stop you from starting. Well, how do we eliminate this, Coach? Let's get to it. Tell me, how do we get rid of this fear of success? Well, I'm so glad you asked that question. Okay, here goes. You ready? Get your pens and paper out. Pencils and paper. Hopefully get your Key to Success digital planner out, which would be really awesome that you can use on OneNote. I want to tell you more about that. That's something I use. It's a great tool. Step one, recognize that your change, progress, your growth all come with a certain level of fear, or else the change you want isn't significant. If making a big decision or a change doesn't give you a little tickle in the tummy, it's probably not a very significant change. So see fear as a sign of value, that your goal, your decision has value because it's important enough to make you go, ooh, this is going to make me grow, or ooh, I'm taking a chance or a risk. Not a stupid risk, a calculated risk, a risk that you put mental power into, but don't do the ooh, or don't do the, I'll just do this because it's easy. Same thing I've always done. Yeah, see, I made a little change. If you don't get a little tickle, if you don't feel a little fear, you're probably not onto something. So fear might not be such a bad thing. Step two, remember when you're scared to death about something before you finally took action and found out it wasn't nearly as bad as you had imagined, or better yet, it was really a pleasurable experience, as in the example we just talked about a couple of minutes ago. Embody that confidence. I'm not telling you this and you're going, okay, I'll do that. I'm telling you, do that right now. Do you remember something that you were scared crapless about and you finally just did it? And the experience was way better than you had imagined and maybe even amazing. Skydiving's a great one. The whole ride up in that plane, you're like, oh God, shit, what am I doing? What am I doing? Get to that door and you're like, death is here. I'm flying. Ooh, look at that. I can see the ocean. I can see the Gulf of Mexico. I can see it all. I'm in heaven. I'm flying. This isn't falling. I'm flying. The beginning of a free fall, you certainly don't feel like you're falling. The only falling is the instant of going from here to here, going out that door. And then you pull that chute and you feel like your body's being pulled from end to end, which the next day you'll walk like you were riding a horse and fell off the horse because you'll be so sore unless you are a major condition seasoned athlete. But then you're floating and you can just take it all in and it's quiet and you feel the breeze and you go, I imagined I was going to fall out of the plane and I was going to scream the whole way down, hit the ground, and my body was going to be in 18 different pieces. Whole different experience, right? Okay, I know that's probably a pretty extreme one, but I love it because anybody who skydives for the first time generally does that. But how different was your confidence when you hit the ground? Yeah, considering your chute opened and you didn't bounce. No, seriously, you were like, I'm taking on the world, baby. I'm taking on the world. I'll give you my first Spartan race. Quick example. Starting out, it's rainy, it's cold, it's 40 degrees, Malibu, California. Biggest, one of their toughest courses, terrain-wise and everything else. About what I thought was, felt like halfway through it, I'm like, I don't know if I got any more of this. Cold, I'm frozen, I'm beat up, I'm tired. It's raining. We're climbing this mud thing that nobody can get over without shoving other people over. Then I get to the top of this hill and I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, well, probably at the halfway point, I'm really screwed. It's going to be as long either. I'm like, what's that smoke? Oh, that's the fire. That's the end of, oh my God, here we go. And they got the guys beating you with the sticks at the end of it, the big padded sticks trying to stop you and slow you down, getting across the finish line, which they no longer do because it's too rough on the racers. And I'm like, really? In a Spartan race? But, you know, we had dumbed down a lot in this world because somebody complained that was too mean. But no, seriously. And you get to that finish line and I get to the other side and jump over the fire and I'm like, let's do it again. 5 minutes before that, I'm ready to throw in the towel. Let's do it again. Well, you know what? Whenever I want some major confidence, I go back to that moment. The first time I crossed the finish line in the crummiest conditions you could want, in going from to, oh yeah, I can take on the world. They're doing a firewalk, but I could give you some countless examples. Firewalk's a great one. Oh my God, I'm going to get burned. I'm going to get burned. I'm going to get burned. And, you know, I've worked those fire lanes and they're real. It's not, you know, it's not charred newspaper or anything else. You're walking across coals, baby. It's about getting in a state of mind and everything else. And it's a very intense environment. But, you know, you start out and it's like, oh, and you hit that point at that starting line where you go with absolute certainty, which is going to be important. We're going to talk more about that later in life. You cross that finish line, and it's like the first thing everybody that you interview about, what was your first thought? Well, if I can do that, I can do anything in life. I can talk to my boss. I can go talk to that girl and get to know her. I can speak to my kids about things I haven't, you know, been able to talk to them about, you know, didn't know how to approach her. I can start that business. My God, I walked across fire. That's the kind of confidence I'm talking about. Embody that confidence. When you did something you were scared about and you did it and you broke through it, how good did you feel afterwards? Guys, this isn't woo-woo. This isn't om and focus on it and the heavens are going to rain, you know, money on top of you in gold and silver. This is What did you do that you broke through? You have a story like that at some point. It may be big, it might be smaller, it might be medium. You have that, and you had that confidence. Okay? So you're going to use that confidence to go into step 3 here, and you're going to tap into your faith, whatever that is, whatever faith you have, whoever you call your creator, you've got some sort of faith. You're going to tap into your belief. You have a time you did something you didn't think you could do, and you may have even done it well. I guarantee you're not living and breathing if you didn't have a moment that you can look back on and go, wow, I did that. Might have just been a stupid school project you forgot about till the night before, and you pulled it off and got a damn A. And you stayed up all night doing it. That should give you some confidence. Okay, you might go, well, that's probably the only thing. So what? Use that. This isn't about what you've done so far. This is about what you can learn to do from here. Okay, so if you approach this with an attitude, you can't fail. Worst case is you learn and grow. How many learning and growing experiences have you had in life? I've had plenty where I look back and go, I won't do it that way again, but I did learn how to do it better. I learned how not to do it. Okay, shed that fear of failure. Okay, if you do something and you fuck up, excuse my language, learn and grow. Okay, so think about this. Think about this in all reality. The first step is always the hardest. You have many references for this. But what do you got to lose? I mean, we've all done it. We've all train wrecked and crashed something good. A relationship, a friendship, a job, a business. We've all had that one or two things you can look back and go, yep, I stepped out of the zone of comfort and I totally train wrecked it. But I think we got more references of I stepped up out of the zone and look what I have now because of it. You know, sometimes the things that you may have thought that you failed at would have held you back from where you are today, how you are today, who you have become today. And if you had never taken that step, see, sometimes you're going to slip and fall. But if you had never taken that step, you'd be in jail. Not jail, county jail or federal jail or state jail. You'd be in the jail of never taking a step outside of the box. And a box is a jail, folks. All right, step 4. I'm going to be a little long this morning, but bear with me. We're almost there. Take a deep breath and say it out loud. It is time now, not later. I have what I need and I do not negotiate. Go. This is what you say before you walk on stage, before you walk in that meeting. I mean, you might adjust these words before you jump in the cold plunge, before you bungee jump, airplane jump, quit your job, whatever it is you need to do and you know it's time. Take a deep breath and say it with me. It is time now, not later. I have what I need and I do not negotiate. Go. Tell yourself this with certainty, and then the key is do it. All right? Use step 5. It's funny, it's step 5. Use the 5-second rule. When you speak step 4, you got to immediately take that action within 5 seconds. Okay? So you can use that. You might not have to do the countdown after just saying what we said in step 4. And this is all on the written part of the site, guys. So if you're watching on the video and you're going, I want to get this down, and I've been driving, don't worry about it. Go back to XLR8life.com and watch it on the replays of the Breakthrough blog. And I have this all written out for you. So you don't have to go, oh my God, I missed something. Okay, the 5-second rule is not my design. It's Mel Robbins. I learned it from Mel Robbins. She's pretty damn awesome. How I've learned to implement this is with a non-negotiable rule attached to it. What this means, okay? If you hem and haw and think about it, your brain's going to negotiate you out of it. We have this reptilian brain that is going to stop you. It's the one that, oh, it's dangerous. Stop. The Tyrannosaurus Rex is going to eat you if you jump out of an airplane. No, there's no T-Rex down there waiting to snap you up, or, room full of gators. Okay, so that's what you imagine, but that's not the truth. But that brain, that reptilian brain, will negotiate you out of it. So using the 5-second rule to decide is great, because you immediately count back 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and do it. You do not allow that reptilian brain to take over. Now, this even works in the morning. You wake up and you go, oh, I woke up without the alarm. I got 15 minutes to lay here. So you know what? Pray for a second, or meditate, or, be grateful, whatever it is you do in the morning, and irrespective of how you call it. Get up, just sit there and go, okay, I'm ready. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, put your feet on the ground and get out of bed. And you might be a little tired, you might be a little foggy, but you did it instead of going, I'm going to doze off for a few minutes. Number one, there's a physical reason, because if you do doze off for a few minutes, you totally screw up your sleep cycle, and your hormones and everything are going to be all effed up for the day. But that's a good way to start. Okay? So remember, don't let that protection brain take over. So the challenge of this, though, is the brain is the reptilian brain is the one that creates the fear and holds you back. So just remember, I do not negotiate, and then count your 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Or use your statement from step 4, and it is time. It is time. Now, not later. I have what I need. I do not negotiate, go. The funny thing is that takes about 5 seconds. So thank you, Mel Robbins, for the 5-second rule. That was a really, it makes a difference. Now, do I forget to do that sometimes? Yeah. Are you going to forget to do it sometimes? Yeah. I mean, come on, we're human. All right. But the more you do it, the more it becomes habit. You don't necessarily start thinking, okay, I'm going to count 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You just go, all right, it's time. I don't negotiate. Go. You can shorten it to that. Okay, whatever works for you. Put the wording together. Step 6, and this is ultra important, celebrate your wins, your learning, journal it, write it. Sometimes people are like, journaling sounds woo-woo. Okay, keep a notebook. All right, digitally record it, audio record it. I just had a great idea. I just did this, and oh my God, I don't want to forget that today was the day I did this. Do you remember what you did last year? If you're watching this live on the 26th of June, 2023, what did you do on the 26th of June, 2022? I have no idea. I don't. I could probably look back and go, did I do a show that day? If I asked you what you were doing on September 11th when the attacks happened, you could tell me exactly. I could even tell you the TV that it was on in the kitchen, and the view out the window, and the Lexi sitting in her high chair with her purple spoon and everything else. This is why you celebrate and record your wins, because that way you have an anchor. You remember you're anchored to it for your growth, for you, that you know that today was the day you made a decision to use the 5-second rule and that silly little statement, that mantra that Lou gave me. And son of a gun, that worked. And you know what I did on this day? XYZ. Write it down. Record it. If life's worth living, it's worth recording. That's also not one of mine. That's a Tony Robbins one. I don't know where he got it. He probably got it from somebody else. It don't matter. It's a truth. If your life is worth living, it's worth recording. All right, so celebrating every time is going to wire this courage into your nervous system to be part of who you are, part of your personality. And remember, courage isn't the absence of fear, okay? It's harnessing fear to take action anyways in the face of fear. If you think for a second the heroes you've looked up to all your life and look up to now didn't feel fear when they were first breaking into something, or feel fear every time they go out on the field, if it's one of your favorite players, or the rescue that comes when your spouse was sick or your child got hurt. If you don't think that when they get a call that there's an unconscious child, that their hearts don't sink and they're not scared of the worst when they come out, they're not robots. But they don't sit there and go, oh God, I don't really want to go on this call. Can somebody else go for me? They go, I'm needed, I'm going, let's go. We do not negotiate, turn the lights on, go. If not, they wouldn't get to your child and save your child. Now, most of the time, A 911 call is frantic because people are scared. They get there, and the minute the medics get there, it's amazing how probably 80% of the time, and this is coming from talking to medics about this, the symptoms suddenly ease because they take away a big portion of the fear factor. Help is here. Suddenly the person's, able to walk to the stretcher when they couldn't get up off the floor when they were alone or when there was just a family member there with them. It's this miracle. It's, oh my God, oh my God, look at what happened. And it's like almost always. Well, part of that is because the fear took over on top of what was going on. I'm not saying somebody's having chest pains or, sick or severe back pains or a kidney stone isn't in pain and in really, scared, but the fear amplifies it. And then when the help gets there and you're like, okay, good, my hero's here. But your heroes even get scared, guys. They just take action anyway. My God, what if firefighters, didn't take action when they got scared? Oh, that building's on fire. I'm not going in. People would die. Damage would be worse. They might look and go, oh my God, this is the biggest damn fire I've ever seen. There's children up on that top floor. I'm scared to death. I might not save them. But they don't sit there and go, well, I guess I'm just not going to try. And I know these are crazy, crazy extreme examples. But if you treated some of your activity the way that your heroes do, their activities, you'd be unstoppable. What if you were like, I'm going to talk to the boss about a raise, but I think I'll do it in 6 months. Well, it's not a real good time now. Things are slow. Yeah, you'll never do it. If you go, you know what, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go in. Maybe I'm not going to say it exactly right. I'm not going to have this pre-planned speech. I'm just going to say, hey, you and I both know I'm worth more money. I need more money. And you know what I bring to the table, etc. Good chance your boss is going to say, yeah, you're right. And they're going to view you as a real person because they're going to go, I know that was scary. That was you once. But wow, they stepped up. If they're stepping up for themselves, they're also stepping up for me and our company when we're not looking. That's the kind of person you are. Think of that. With all that said, now, are you ready to put that accelerator down? You ready to put the hammer down, like they say in the country music, road songs? You ready to put the hammer down? Yeah, let's put the hammer down. Let's put that foot down, okay? Get on. Let's get in the race. You got to get in, put the hammer down. Now, you ready to go? What do you need? What do you need to get to where you're going? I bet you can tell me already because of what we've been talking about. It's a map, massive action plan, mass action plan, whatever you want to call it. Okay, next week we're going to teach you how to design a map for success. And one last thing about green light to go. Yeah, there is one more thing. And you're thinking, of course there is, Coach. Of course there is. Permission. Whose permission do you need to take your life to the next level? Dream it, live it, do it. Whose permission do you need? Huh? Whose? Say it out loud. Whose permission do you need to get this started today? All right. You're lying. You need yours and yours only. Okay, you might say God's. No, that's one. I'll take that. But other than that, you don't need mom, dad, brother, sister, spouse, boss, next door neighbor, best friend. Okay? From this point on, give yourself permission to be you, take your action, you succeed. You also take responsibility for your actions. Okay? Who cares what the people who don't believe say? Okay? Who cares what they say you can't do or you're not that kind of person? I care what the people say. I know you can do this. I know you. Wow, you're that kind of person. If anybody can do this, you can do it. Do you see the difference? Not, well, you're not really that kind of person. Well, that's a cut down at the knees. Okay? It's your goal, your dream, and it was gifted to you by God or however you call your creator. And it wasn't given to somebody else. This dream was given to you. Okay? Give yourself the permission to be the best. Don't wait on anybody else, especially those who are not succeeding at a level that's equal or higher than yours. Okay, remember, I got a simple rule for you. Don't take advice from a broke friend. Don't take relationship from a friend who's advice from a friend who's going through a divorce or breakup. or that's single and never had a relationship. And most certainly don't ever take advice from someone that doesn't see or share your vision. Okay? You might be like, I want to help build schools in third world countries to help educate this world so that these worlds are not such a bane on the finances and in the world, and end some of the violence and so forth. Well, yeah, if you educate, you're gonna end violence. Maybe you go, hey, I don't need to go to a third world country. I need to go to the Bronx and build some schools and get some teachers in there who really care, and that to end some of this violence. Violence comes from uneducation. Okay? Cheating and stealing and thievery comes from a lack of education and a lack of teaching somebody any ethics. So if you say, you know what, I'm going to go build a school in the Bronx for these kids that, you know, nobody's ever bothered to teach them this, and somebody says, it's not going to make a difference. They're just little baby thugs. Nobody cares about them. Well, somebody's got to care about them, because if we keep allowing them to just be baby little thugs, and you label them as such and you treat them as such and they believe they're such, that's going to continue. But if you make a difference, so it would be better to find somebody that goes, hey, you know, you got a hell of a hard road ahead of you there, but I think that's a great idea. We got to start with giving a hand up instead of a hand out. Because some people say they get a welfare check, don't worry about it, we take care of them. Our taxes pay for those kids in that neighborhood. That's not teaching those kids to be better. You know? So somebody might not see your vision, and you might have to not take their advice. You know, they'll tell you, you're already contributing by paying taxes. Don't get involved in that. No, it's not going to make a difference. And that's, again, a crazy example. Okay? So we've gone pretty long today, so I'm going to leave you with this today. In the long run, you're not going to eliminate the great people from your life by doing this. The people that really matter. Now, they might not be right at your level, but the people that are inspired to grow with you, the people that really stand by you and go, I don't totally understand what you're doing, but you know what? It's your passion and I can see it and I support you. Okay, the people that hold you down may fall away on the wayside, but you're going to find out they were never your people anyway in the first place. But a lot of people will grow with you if they're really in that peer group that's part of you. All right, guys, step up, green light, go. Let's do this. Next week, we're going to work on the map. Again, I'm sorry, show went way over today in time, but it was worth it. This is important stuff. If you don't want to step on your green light and have your green light, and you just want to keep walking up to that starting line and walking away with your tail between your legs, then so be it. If you want to cross that line and hit the bumps and skid around the corners and cross that finish line at some point, whether you win the race, whether you learn from the race, because you're not really going to lose the race, or whether you get some bumps and bruises on the way, what's most important is you started. That's where we're at now. Next week, we're going to learn how to take it to where you want to take it. And we're going to have some good times with this stuff, guys. Lots of good stuff coming up in the near future. In the meantime, live with faith, energy, passion. Always live your dreams. This is Coach Lou signing off for Breakthrough with Lou. See you on next week's show.
Ready to take it to the next level? Tune in to XLR8Life.com for our live shows, encore presentations, life-changing courses, and live coaching with Coach Lou himself. As Coach Lou always says, live with faith, energy, love, passion, and always live your dream.